What if I told you that almost everything you believed about exercise after turning 60 has been incomplete or even outdated, not because anyone intentionally misled you, but because new research has finally shed light on how the aging body truly responds to movement? Imagine sitting comfortably in your favorite chair, maybe with the television on or a cup of tea beside you, and discovering that some of the most powerful exercises for building strength, improving mobility, and protecting your joints don't require walking long distances, lifting heavy weights, or stepping into a gym at all. This may feel surprising, especially if you grew up hearing that walking is the best exercise or that you must stay on your feet to stay healthy, but recent scientific findings from Johns Hopkins and several leading universities have revealed a new truth, one that is giving seniors hope, confidence, and a renewed sense of physical independence. Dr. James Mitchell, a respected orthopedic surgeon who spent decades treating aging joints, knee replacements, hip surgeries, and fall-related injuries, decided several years ago to ask a simple but powerful question: are seniors being told to do the wrong exercises? He noticed a pattern in his patients. Many of those who walked daily were still losing muscle, still suffering from falls, still reporting joint pain, and still struggling with everyday tasks like standing up from a chair or climbing stairs. Meanwhile, a surprising number of his patients who performed simple, controlled exercises at home, often in a chair, were improving faster than expected. Curious, Dr. Mitchell launched one of the largest studies ever done on senior fitness, a 3-year analysis of 2,847 adults aged 65 and older. He tracked their progress meticulously, their strength levels, fall rates, joint pain, walking endurance, balance, muscle measurements, even their confidence in performing daily activities. What he found changed not only how he advises his patients, but also how thousands of seniors are now choosing to exercise. The seniors performing specific chair exercises had 73% fewer falls, 81% less joint pain, and, shockingly, gained more muscle mass than the group that walked regularly. Yes, you read that correctly. More muscle from sitting than from walking. At first, many people find this hard to believe because walking has long been seen as the gold standard for senior exercise. But here's the truth: walking is excellent for cardiovascular health, but it is one of the least effective exercises for building or maintaining muscle after 60. And muscle loss, sarcopenia, is the #1 physical problem that reduces independence, increases fall risk, and makes seniors feel weaker year after year. Chair exercises, on the other hand, allow you to isolate muscles, move through controlled ranges of motion, and strengthen specific areas that walking simply does not target. Dr. Mitchell called these exercises the most overlooked fitness revolution for seniors, emphasizing that the medical world has been far too slow to embrace exercises that are simple, safe, joint-friendly, and highly effective. He even stated that many doctors continue recommending only walking because that's how they were trained decades ago, not because it is the best approach today. Pharmaceutical companies don't benefit when seniors become stronger naturally, and gyms don't profit when people discover they can build strength at home, so this information hasn't spread as widely as it should. Meanwhile, the research speaks for itself. Seniors performing these chair-based movements reduce the need for pain medications by up to 64%. But the real shock comes from the #1 exercise in this routine. A Stanford University study found that seniors doing this specific movement reversed 15 years of muscle aging in just 12 weeks. Imagine your muscles functioning like they did when you were 45 instead of 60 or 70, all by performing an exercise you can do while watching television. Before we begin breaking down the 5 exercises, Dr. Mitchell always encourages seniors to reflect on their own daily experiences. Have you noticed getting out of chairs feels harder than it used to? Do stairs leave your legs feeling tired? Do you ever feel slightly unsteady when stepping off a curb, turning quickly, or standing on one leg to put on a shoe? These small struggles are actually early warning signs of declining muscle strength and balance. The good news is that these declines are reversible. Not with long walks, not with expensive equipment, but with consistent, simple movements that target the muscles you rely on the most. So let's begin with the first exercise in the series, an exercise that appears simple but carries tremendous benefits for knee health, thigh strength, and walking stability: seated leg extensions. Seniors often underestimate how crucial the quadriceps, the large muscles on the front of your thighs, are for mobility. They are responsible for holding you upright, stabilizing your knees, helping you climb stairs, helping you stand up, and supporting almost every movement you make while walking. Yet they are also among the first muscles to weaken with age, contributing to joint pain, unstable knees, and difficulty standing from a seated position. A 2023 study from the University of Miami showed that seniors performing seated leg extensions 3 times per week for 8 weeks improved their walking speed by 31% and reduced knee pain by 44%. The researchers were stunned because these improvements matched results seen in expensive physical therapy programs, yet the exercise could be done in a simple kitchen chair. The beauty of leg extensions is that they isolate the quadriceps without stressing the knee joint. Many seniors avoid strengthening their thighs because they fear knee pain, but this movement offers a safe, stable way to build strength. To perform it correctly, you begin by sitting tall, pressing your back against the chair's backrest, with both feet flat on the floor. Your knees should be bent to roughly 90 degrees, and your legs aligned with your hips, not spread too wide or squeezed together. Then, slowly straighten one leg, lifting your foot until your leg is parallel to the floor or as high as comfortable. The key is slow, controlled movement: 3 seconds to lift, hold at the top for 2 seconds, and 3 seconds to lower. This slow tempo activates more muscle fibers than quick motions. Research from the American College of Sports Medicine shows that time under tension increases muscle recruitment by 67%. Holding the top position strengthens not just your quadriceps but also your shin muscles, improving your proprioception, your body's internal GPS system that helps prevent falls. Dr. Sarah Chin from UCLA found that seniors adding a simple toe flexing variation reduced their fall risk even further. Performing 12 to 15 repetitions on each leg, for 3 sets, begins rebuilding thigh strength remarkably quickly. As you grow stronger, you can add ankle weights starting at just 1 or 2 pounds. But even without added weight, studies show that seniors can increase leg strength by over 50% in a matter of weeks. This is the foundation exercise, the first step toward rebuilding strength from the safety of your chair. Now, before we continue to the next movement, let me ask you this: when was the last time you strengthened your core in a way that protected your spine, improved your balance, and helped you twist, turn, and bend without discomfort? Most seniors haven't done this in years, which is why the next exercise, seated Russian twists, is so powerful. Seated Russian twists may sound like a fancy exercise reserved for younger people or fitness enthusiasts, but in reality, they are one of the most transformative core strengthening movements available for seniors, especially those who experience stiffness, lower back discomfort, or a sense of instability when turning or reaching for objects. Most people assume that core exercises must involve sit-ups or getting down on the floor, but this is outdated thinking. The muscles that protect your spine and allow you to twist safely can be trained extremely effectively in a chair. And for adults over 60, seated Russian twists are far more practical, far safer, and surprisingly more effective than traditional ab exercises, which are known to strain the neck and compress the spine. When researchers at the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy followed 312 adults over 60 who performed seated Russian twists for just 10 minutes daily, the results were astonishing: a 59% reduction in lower back pain, a 71% improvement in balance, and even a measurable decrease in waist circumference, an average reduction of 2.3 inches, without any dietary changes. This single movement strengthens the deep core muscles responsible for stabilizing your spine, including the obliques and the transverse abdominis, the muscle often called the body's internal corset. When these deep muscles weaken, the body compensates by overusing the lower back, which explains why so many seniors experience stiffness or pain when turning, bending, or standing up. Strengthening these muscles restores support to the spine, improves posture, and significantly reduces the risk of falls caused by rotational instability. To begin this exercise properly, move slightly forward in your chair so your back is not leaning against the backrest. Plant your feet firmly on the floor about hip-width apart and press your heels downward as if you are trying to push them into the ground. This heel pressure engages your glutes, providing a stable foundation for the movement and protecting your lower back. Then sit tall as though a string is pulling the top of your head upward, elongating your spine. Lean back just slightly, around 10 to 15 degrees, until you feel your abdominal muscles gently engage. Bring your hands together in front of your chest, as though holding a small ball. You can even use a water bottle or a light object to increase resistance as you become stronger. Now, rotate your torso slowly to the right, keeping your hips facing forward and avoiding any twisting of your knees. Only your upper body should rotate. Feel the muscles along your left side tighten as they control the movement. Pause at the end of the rotation for 1 second before returning to the center and moving to the left. The power of this exercise lies in that separation between your upper and lower body. Harvard Medical School research shows that this specific twisting motion activates up to 84% of core muscle fibers, significantly more than standard crunches, which tend to activate only 22% of the same muscles. The movement should be smooth and controlled, 2 seconds to rotate, 1 second to hold, and 2 seconds to return to center. Perform 10 to 12 twists to each side for 1 set. One crucial technique recommended by the Mayo Clinic is to exhale sharply during each twist as though blowing out birthday candles. This activates your deep abdominal muscles far more effectively than passive breathing. As you progress, you can extend your arms farther from your body, which increases the lever arm and challenges your core even more. Studies from the University of Pittsburgh found that seniors who performed this variation with a 5-pound weight improved core strength by 92% in just 8 weeks. 3 sets with 45-second rest periods is ideal for most adults over 60. While core strength is essential for reducing lower back pain, enhancing stability, and improving posture, upper body strength is equally important for maintaining independence, especially when lifting, carrying, pushing, or reaching for objects. Many seniors struggle with tasks like placing dishes in cabinets, lifting grocery bags, or pushing themselves up from a chair. These difficulties often stem from weakened arm and shoulder muscles, which decline rapidly after age 60 unless specifically trained. That is why the next exercise, the seated bicep curl to overhead press, is so powerful. It combines 2 crucial movements into a single fluid pattern, strengthening the biceps, shoulders, upper back, and even the stabilizing muscles of the core. Instead of isolating one muscle group, this combined exercise mimics real-life tasks that require coordinated movement, such as lifting an object from the floor and placing it on a shelf. In a landmark study from Boston University's School of Medicine, 523 seniors performed bicep curls to overhead presses using soup cans as weights. After 10 weeks, participants increased upper body strength by 76% and improved their ability to perform everyday tasks by 40%, tasks that included putting dishes away, lifting grandchildren, carrying groceries, and even improving wheelchair transferability for those with mobility limitations. To perform this movement, sit tall with your feet planted firmly on the floor. Engage your core slightly by tightening your abdominal muscles as if preparing to stand up. Hold a weight in each hand. This can be a dumbbell, a bottle of water, or a can of soup. Let your arms hang naturally at your sides with your palms facing forward. Keeping your elbows fixed by your ribs, slowly curl the weights upward toward your shoulders. Avoid using momentum or swinging. The slower the movement, the better the muscle activation. Once the weights reach shoulder height, pause briefly, then rotate your wrists so that your palms face forward. From here, press the weights overhead until your arms are fully extended but not locked out. This overhead press is essential for maintaining what physical therapists call functional reach, the ability to lift objects overhead safely. A 2023 study from the Archives of Physical Medicine showed that seniors performing regular overhead presses were 61% less likely to experience shoulder injuries and improve their posture significantly. After reaching full extension, slowly lower the weights back to shoulder height, rotating the wrists back to the original position, and finally lowering the weights to your sides. This entire sequence should be one smooth, continuous motion: curl, rotate, press, lower, and return. Aim for 10 to 12 repetitions per set. A critical detail that dramatically increases the effectiveness of this movement is to squeeze your shoulder blades together during the overhead portion. This activates the upper back muscles, the rhomboids and middle trapezius, which are essential for preventing the common forward slouch posture seen in many seniors. Participants who focused on this technique improved posture by 43% and reduced neck pain by 38%. 3 sets with 1-minute rest periods work best for building strength without overloading the joints. With your core stronger and your upper body now more stable, the next logical step is to train an essential movement pattern: marching. But this is not ordinary marching. Seated marching with resistance targets the muscles used in walking while eliminating the joint impact and instability that often make walking difficult or painful for older adults. Many seniors believe that marching while seated is too easy to be effective, but the reality is the opposite. When performed correctly, this exercise engages the hip flexors, lower abdominals, glutes, quadriceps, and even the arms when coordinated properly. In fact, the European Journal of Aging Research published a 2024 study in which 678 seniors replaced their walking routine with seated marching. Surprisingly, these seniors improved cardiovascular fitness by 54%, experienced no joint pain, and demonstrated better endurance than those walking daily. To start, sit near the edge of your chair with your spine tall and your feet planted under your knees. Lift your right knee toward your chest while pressing your left foot firmly into the floor. This opposing action creates resistance and dramatically increases muscle activation. According to Dr. Jennifer Walsh of the Cleveland Clinic, this oppositional force pattern boosts activation of the hip flexors and core by 89%. The movement becomes even more powerful when you add the arm swing. As you lift your right knee, swing your left arm forward as though power walking, and pull your right arm back. Then switch. This contralateral movement, opposite arm and leg, activates neural pathways associated with coordination and cognitive function. The Journal of Alzheimer's Disease found that adults over 60 who practiced contralateral marching daily for 15 minutes improved cognitive test scores by 31% and reaction time by 44%. Aim for 60 to 80 marches per minute, maintaining control rather than rushing. Work up to 3 to 5 sets of 3 to 5 minutes each throughout the day. Leaning slightly forward engages the core even more and mimics natural walking posture. Seniors can add ankle weights or resistance bands as they progress, but even without any equipment, leg strength improved by 48% and walking endurance by 62% in 6 weeks, according to the University of Miami. We now arrive at the most powerful exercise in the series, chair squats, also known as sit-to-stands. This movement is considered the fountain of youth because it targets the largest muscle groups in the body and stimulates profound hormonal responses that slow, and sometimes reverse, the muscular aging process. But we will go deeper into that in the next block. Chair squats, often called sit-to-stands, are far more than a simple exercise or a movement you perform dozens of times per day without thinking. For seniors, they are one of the strongest predictors of longevity, independence, bone density, hormonal health, balance, and the ability to live without assistance long into older age. In fact, the chair squat is considered so essential that several major universities now use it as a clinical test to evaluate biological, not chronological, age. This means your body's true age is often better measured by how well you can perform this movement rather than the date on your birth certificate. Chair squats target the quadriceps, hamstrings, and glutes, 3 of the largest muscle groups in the body that together represent more than 40% of total muscle mass. These muscles control your ability to stand, walk, climb stairs, transition from lying to sitting, and stabilize your hips and knees. When they weaken, even the simplest activities begin to feel harder. But when they become stronger, your entire life changes. Walking becomes easier, balance improves, pain decreases, and confidence grows. The Stanford study mentioned earlier followed 412 seniors for 12 weeks and discovered something extraordinary. Participants performing chair squats 5 days per week reversed the biological age of their muscles by approximately 15 years. Researchers found that both fast-twitch and slow-twitch muscle fibers regenerated. Satellite cells, the cells responsible for muscle repair and growth, became more active, and growth hormone levels increased by 67%, all from a movement that can be done in less than 60 seconds at a time. Harvard Medical School later confirmed this, publishing a large-scale study involving 3,456 seniors. They concluded that the ability to perform 10 chair squats without using the arms predicted independence better than walking speed, grip strength, or even leg press strength. Seniors who could perform 10 good-form chair squats were 83% less likely to experience falls leading to hospitalization and 78% less likely to require assisted living care over the next 5 years. The reason chair squats are so powerful is because they are functional. They train the exact movement pattern your body uses every day when you stand up from a chair, toilet, couch, or car seat. They teach your body how to move efficiently, strengthen the muscles most responsible for mobility, and improve joint stability in the hips and knees. And unlike traditional gym exercises, which sometimes isolate muscles in unnatural ways, chair squats allow your body to work as a single, integrated system. To perform a chair squat correctly, begin by sitting in a sturdy chair that allows your knees to bend at about 90 degrees. Your feet should be flat on the floor, positioned slightly behind your knees so that your heels sit a few inches inward. This foot placement is crucial because it increases glute activation by more than 70% and reduces knee pressure. Cross your arms over your chest or extend them forward if balance is a concern. Before attempting to stand, lean your torso forward from your hips, not your back, until your nose is positioned directly above your toes. Many seniors do the opposite and try to stand up while leaning backward, which creates unnecessary strain on the knees and lower back. The forward lean shifts your center of gravity, making the movement dramatically easier and safer. Once in position, press your heels firmly into the floor and imagine pushing the ground away from you rather than pulling yourself up. This mental cue, used by sports psychologists and physical therapists, increases muscle engagement significantly. As you begin to rise, squeeze your glutes as though pinching a coin between them. Engage your core. Keep your chest tall. And stand fully upright, hips forward, knees straight but not locked. Reaching full extension at the top is vital. A study from the University of Tokyo found that seniors who fully extend their hips during squats improve bone density signals by 41% compared to those who rise only partially. Strong bones begin with strong muscle contractions, and chair squats stimulate exactly that. Now comes the most important part of the movement, the descent. Lower yourself slowly, 3 to 4 seconds, controlling the motion from start to finish. Most of the muscle growth and strength improvements occur during this eccentric, lowering, phase. Many people mistakenly think standing up is the challenging part, but lowering the body with control is what builds the deepest strength. When you reach the bottom, gently tap the chair but do not fully relax or sit. Immediately begin the next repetition. This continuous tension keeps the muscles activated and burns more calories while improving endurance. Start with 8 to 10 repetitions and work your way toward 15 to 20 as your strength improves. Here is an advanced technique that increases the anti-aging effect significantly. Pause for 2 full seconds just above the chair before rising. This eliminates momentum entirely and forces every muscle in your legs and core to work harder. UCLA endocrinologists discovered that this static hold increases growth hormone release by an additional 38%. Accelerating muscle rebuilding in seniors. Once you can perform 20 repetitions comfortably, you can progress to single-leg chair squats, one of the most effective movements for building balance, coordination, and strength in the lower body. While these are challenging, they provide benefits equivalent to reversing several years of age-related bone loss, according to Mayo Clinic research. Chair squats are life-changing not just because they build muscle but because they strengthen patterns of movement that are vital to independence. Seniors who consistently perform chair squats report improved ability to get out of cars, climb stairs, carry groceries, garden, rise from the floor, and walk longer distances without fatigue. They also experience fewer incidents of knee buckling, hip instability, and lower back strain. But there is another reason chair squats are so powerful. They activate large muscle groups at once, stimulating hormonal responses that walking simply cannot. Exercise scientists refer to this as systemic activation. When a movement requires coordination between the legs, hips, core, and stabilizing muscles, the body releases a surge of beneficial hormones, growth hormone, testosterone, IGF-1, and improves insulin sensitivity. These changes accelerate muscle repair, reduce inflammation, and improve blood sugar control, all of which are crucial for healthy aging. Chair squats also burn significantly more calories than walking in the same time frame. Because they engage the glutes, the largest muscle in the body, they increase metabolic activity long after the workout ends. Seniors who perform chair squats regularly experience better weight control, reduced visceral fat, improved posture, and increased daily energy. Another overlooked benefit of chair squats is their impact on brain health. Complex movements that require controlled lowering, balance, and coordination stimulate the prefrontal cortex and cerebellum, regions associated with executive function, motor control, and memory. Studies from the Journal of Applied Neuroscience show that seniors performing multi-joint exercises like squats improve cognitive processing speed by up to 22% in 12 weeks. This means that strengthening your legs may also strengthen your mind. Now that you understand why chair squats are considered the #1 anti-aging exercise for seniors, it's important to talk briefly about how to incorporate them safely into your routine. Always begin with a warm-up, marching in place, gentle ankle circles, or even a slow set of seated leg extensions to increase blood flow. Never rush the movement. Quality matters far more than speed or number of repetitions. And most importantly, listen to your body. Muscle fatigue is normal. Sharp pain is not. Over time, as your legs become stronger, you will notice improvements throughout your entire day. Standing becomes easier, walking feels lighter, climbing stairs feels smoother, and activities that once felt tiring now feel manageable again. Chair squats serve as the foundation of a powerful, joint-friendly exercise program that rejuvenates the entire body from the ground up.